something that is gonna make me to change my life because you don't understand what's happened around you. So why do you why do you think I really care about what you think about it? You know what I'm really care about? I really care about the kids that are gonna come and they're gonna find on the internet stupid things. That's the real problem for me.
The next
But
generation,
you are dumb stupid who's gonna live forever like in this crusted idiocy and is not gonna get around it. So I'm not gonna care about you anymore.
No, because again, our message is for the next generation. Those people you're concerned about are the same people we are concerned about. And, we work very hard to make sure the next generation do not succumb to the lies, the deception that you have. Yeah? That's what we do. That's our position. We just raise awareness, basically. Right?
Okay, good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. And so far, we've been so successful. If this was a business, this would probably be up there with Amazon or even higher than Amazon at the moment if it were a business, because the growth is unbelievable. The amount of traffic that Flat Earther gets, the arguments we make, the strong position we're in, and for some reason, I can see the interest, but it keeps people thinking, well, what if it is flat? What if it's not a ball? And they get to try thinking, how can I prove that flat Earth? All these things happen. So people do care, decode us. The message is hit every corner, all the four corners of the flat Earth. Okay? That's how you try and start a message and get your message to the four corners of the Earth. It's going to be impossible for you. But when it goes against every scientist, every mathematician, physicist, whatnot, people pay attention. It's like, well, if they're not smart and you've figured it out more than them, then
you really think the mathematicians and physicians they're gonna bother to argue with you?
No, they're gonna.
We are arguing with you because it's fun for us. But for example, take a look. I have a relative, yeah. In my family, mathematics is having something like if you don't know it, you're the stupidest fuck. So everybody in my family, from my father, my uncle, everybody have been involved in polytechnics, in things that have been related to mathematics. Yeah.
Right.
One of my cousins, he's working. He didn't choose to work with Washington, with NASA. He was choosing to work with the Russian space agency. And when I have been talk with him, mate, I'm on the Discord chat, and I'm listening what the flat earthers are doing. Do you want to come here? He was laughing in the first second, and he was telling me, what are you doing there? You're stupid. You don't have other things to do in your life. Just leave it like it is. Don't go and argue with them, because it's something that is gonna be forever there. It's nothing that is gonna change. And nobody's going to change nothing, A real mathematician is not going to come with you and try to explain to you why 2 + 2 is 4. You're a lost cause for them.
No, we get that.
Because in the matrix, there are things that are not always perfect. If you take the matrix, yeah.
Right.
So you leave the imperfect things to live like imperfect things, and you take care of the perfect things. So that's the life. You're going to have stupid people around you all the time. It's not a problem. It's something that we have it in our genome. Nobody can be smarter for everything. It's normal.
Look, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Globers argue with us. Now, all we do is raise awareness about the lie.
No, mate, nobody wants to argue with you. Everybody wants to try to make you to understand what's happened. Nobody's arguing. I'm not arguing with you, not even a time. But when you're changing the subject, and when you use words, words and some salad words just to avoid the correct answer, it's frustrating for me. And because I have a lack of English, I'm gonna be nervous in the next second. I'm gonna be with the 100+ tension on my brain. So understand me. We don't have nothing with you. We know, because you people, you are a lost cause for us. But we are trying to make you to understand what it is around you. This is simple.
I mean, again, I hear what you're saying. But obviously our position is just to plant seeds, raise awareness, open eyes, secure the next generation, that they're not fooled into thinking that they can go to Mars or the moon or leave the atmosphere, leave into space. And what we do is we just, if there is evidence for a glow, then we want to see it. And it's not really an argument happening. We just ask questions. You either present it or you don't, and then we just deliver the information on what we find. See?
Yes, but you don't take the correct answers. You take only the answers that you like it. This is cherry picking, and this is going to exactly on the point of you ignoring things. This is the biggest problem. It's not a problem because you don't understand it. You understand it, but you don't want to accept it.
No, I mean, again, I don't know if you've noticed, like I said, I like to work with ball earthers. If they have an experiment that proves that point.
What experiment? What experiment? Because you don't know, you tell about 24 hours video. If you want to make a 24 hours video, from my perspective, you need a huge hard disk first, because the video is not going to be stocked on a device like a cassette tape or something like that. You need a huge hard disk. Let's say it. You're going to need someone who's going to operate the camera for 24 hours, or a team, and you're going to need a lot of things just to prove your argument, who's nonsense. So you're going to spend a lot of money for nothing. And after that, you're going to come and you're going to say, hey, this is a cut. In the second 24, after the 33 hours and 59 seconds, you're going to see a cut in the 59 second. And you're going to say, this is not, let's do it again. So who do you think is going to care about your arguments? Because your arguments, they are from other world, mate.
I think, again, I don't know if I'm talking about when I say the next gen, I'm talking about the next generation. So we're talking about the future of mankind. So we're talking about the young people.
No. You're talking about, you're trying to change the subject again. You see? Why don't you stay to the subject? If you have opened the subject, stay with the stupid subject. You don't have to go around the curtain just to prove because you're an actor.
Well, I think you're trying to find an argument where there isn't one. And for me, things are very simple. Like, life is very simple. Now, if someone makes a claim about what the Earth is, then obviously they should provide evidence, right? So what the evidence we've seen so far is not complete in terms of Cavendish. Like you said, 24-hour sun is not complete. So we have 2 minutes.
Again. You prove my point again. So nobody's gonna make a film for you with 24 hours. Why don't you understand that?
No, I'm not. I'm just.
There are another way to prove something like that. It's not a. For example, you keep talking about Cavendish experiment. I don't know if you understand that, because did you read something about the Cavendish? Just for curiosity, it's just a stupid question, but did you read the Cavendish, just the portion of life when he have been doing the experiment and he have figured out how to make the experiment? Did you read something about it?
I mean, yes, but it's not important because
why is not important?
I'm about to explain that. Yeah. Because
you're choosing to ignore some things just to prove your point. Why is not important?
No, nothing's being ignored.
Yes, you said because they are not important, so you're ignoring things.
Yes, because we're looking for the observed phenomenon. Yeah.
But it is an observed phenomenon on his life, and he was documented everything what he have been done it, and they are not. I think it's not a paper, because everybody from the scientific point of view, they are putting papers in front of everything. Yeah. So it's not only a paper. There are. I think there are a lot of things that are inside of that experiment, not only a paper. So, do you know what he have been done in that period of his life?
Yes, he has an effect. Yes, an effect that shows mass attracting mass.
I'm talking about Cavendish now. I'm not talking about the experiment. Do you know what Cavendish have been done in this period of his life?
I've never met Cavendish, no.
But did you read it? What he have been write it down?
No.
That's my point.
Okay.
So Cavendish, it have been a little bit of fixist, like a meticulous man. He wanted to prove, when he wanted to prove something, he was going very, very, very in the detail of what he wanted to prove. And he was done it that experiment, his experiment, with in a plenty of environments, plenty of things, just to be sure when he's gonna be published it, the experiment is not gonna have nobody is gonna have something to argue about his experiment. So please go to his life, read it, in what way he have been done it, which way he have been put it in place, and why he have been repeatedly for when he was feeling confident, he was started to publish the experiment. After that, we're gonna go to the part that you didn't ignore and parts that you ignored. Thank you.
Well, I mean, he has a paper. There's on that paper there is an effect.
No, mate, I told you, he doesn't have a paper. He have the whole story about this experiment.
I know he has the whole story.
No. He have the paper that he have been published. It have been proved with his experiment. But behind of that paper, there have been couple of experiments done it. So go back to Cavendish if you want to talk about Cavendish, inform it about him, and after that, try to talk about him.
Well, look, let's try again. So, what we're looking for, these are things that we are searching for. We're searching for the science. Yes, we're searching for the effects, the observed phenomenon. Now, Cavendish has said that mass will attract mass when they do this experiment, but he didn't account for all the variables. That was the problem. And when we see blue do the Cavendish, we know the cause to this effect. Okay? So once we know the cause, we now then should rule out that cause, manipulate that independent variable, put it in a vacuum where the cause is not present, and see if it still moves. Now, luckily enough, in a vacuum, it doesn't move for the flat earthers. We don't get any movement. And lucky for you guys. But if we could see, with all the variables being accounted for, then you would have this gravitational mass attraction. And it's as simple as that. That's what we look for,
Excuse me for a minute. I have some problems with my wife, and I have to talk with her. So
carry on take with your time. Yeah,
gibberish things because they are nonsense anyway. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not easy facing the flat Earth. It's not easy at all because we think of everything. Like if there's a problem, we're like, well, hold on. What about this? What about that? We're constantly thinking. You guys don't seem to do that. You seem to say, well, that supports my idea, so I'll just go along with that.
Kimo, again, from where do you have this conclusion? Because we are not thinking. Do you think my neurons are inert in my brain, and every time when I hear something that I just took it and use it for my youth, because somebody have been told me something like that? No, mate, we are thinking, and we are observing things, and we are doing things. In my example, I have been on the Polytechnical University, and we have been done at a lot of experiments.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that is not thinking. Everybody is thinking in his own way. You're thinking in your way because you choose to think like that. Nobody put you to think like that, but you have found the solution because it's more convenient for you to ignore everything and live in this bubble. Good luck.
Absolutely not. I mean, again, we try, or at least I try to work with globe earthers very closely, try to validate the experiments and to ensure that we have substantiated the claim, which is mass attracting mass. Now, if there are any problems, like I said, the cause, we need to manipulate that cause. Unless you do that, you're pretty much guessing. And now that's not science, that is what we would call pseudoscience.
Good luck.
I mean, again, thank you. But like I say, if this was a business, one of the top businesses, the growth been fantastic. We now have millions of flat earthers all over the world understanding the arguments. It's just a few, in fact, it's just a few people in the middle, bar America. You got America out there, but it's just a few people here in Middle Earth think the Earth is a ball. Just a very small number. Think about it correctly. If you look at all the world, you've got a lot of Americans who now understand it's flat. But the rest of the world, Europe, they're open to the idea that it's not a ball. Australia is coming through slowly but surely. Japan, they're starting to upload videos I've seen. So
you're dreaming, mate. You're dreaming too much during the night, and you don't have not even a clue what the people are thinking around the world.
Your mic's gone a bit quiet, Decodus.
Yes, because I have been
that's better.
Sitting comfortably on the chair, and I have ignored you what you have been saying. So, do you really think, as everybody around the world is going to report to you how many people they are talking about and they are thinking about the flat Earth, and how many people they are thinking about the flat Earth, the round Earth? The biggest problem is you live in the delusional part of the brain, or whatever you're doing with your mind. I don't know what's happened with your brain, but it's for me, I'm very interesting how come you got it on this point that you cannot get out. That's why I'm on this server, to understand the flat earthers' behavior, to understand why they are not getting out for that bubble, why they are still there, just to arguing. I think it's a war inside of you, because you see the things that are, because in my mind something like that is not going to happen, and is not happening.
Right.
Maybe if I'm going to lose some cells, some brain cells, I'm going to be in your position. Maybe. I don't know. I have to figure it out. But in your comportment, in your way of thinking, in your philosophical stuff, you're still on the closer to the mentality of the ancient Greeks. You didn't pass it. You're still there. And for me, it's very interesting, and it's fascinating in the same way. Why the people from this century, they didn't pass the golden age of the ancient times. So you didn't pass the Renaissance. You get me?
Go on. Finish. But, there are some very staunch flat earthers who will, at this point today, will not go back. You've heard the expression, once you go flat. But there have been some flat earthers who have got, so-called flat earthers, who have gone back. So you might say it does work. You have people who, for whatever reason, decided it was flat, and then decided it's not flat. So you can see that it's just a decision, just an opinion. It's how they feel, right? So all I can do, like I said, is work very closely with guys.
One second. You said word feel.
Feels.
Do you think? Yes,
feels.
Feelings. Yeah. Do you think science doesn't care about your feel? Doesn't care about your feelings? Doesn't care about, because you're sentimental about a thing that you have been took it, and you take it and you assume it because it's yours. Do you think science is going to take care about what's inside of your mind? Science it's physics. The things that are around you is not something that it's care about you. You understand me? So it can be in opposite with you.
Yeah, but
you have to understand that you don't have to. My feeling is, because I think today the sun is going to go from the left to right, not from the right to left. So this is my feeling. Okay, I'm going to put it in my sentence, and I'm going to live like that. Yes, you can put it like that, but don't go to the science.
Yes, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that we have science and pseudoscience. Now, the science you're recommending is what you feel, yes? Not what actually is.
No, man. It's the opposite way. The science doesn't care about your feelings, man. It's exactly the opposite way.
So if that were true,
why do you have to put feelings in science?
Well, this is what I'm
Do you
saying.
think
You're saying to me,
it's exactly like, oh, I see a transparent Berzelius glass on the table, and it's with a transparent liquid on it. Oh, so it's water. My feeling is saying it's water, but you drink it sulfuric acid.
yeah.
So you see, this is the difference between feelings and science. You don't have to feel. You have to understand it.
You don't even do it with just science. You do it with measurements as well and observations. But when you look at something, you feel that's what you're looking at, and you don't conduct science. So that's what we say when you pseudoscience, because you're not actually conducting any experiments, right? Or measurements to that effect. So you don't do measurements. Look at something, you say ship over the horizon, you say mountain obstructed. That must, I feel it must be the curvature. You don't
No,
say,
man. No, man.
here's the measurement. You don't say, here's the measurement to the physical horizon.
This is your conclusion. Again, this is your conclusions, and this is your thinking against what's happened in the real thing. I cannot express myself very well in this.
When you see a ship go over the horizon, what do you feel is happening?
No, man, I don't feel nothing about that ship. I don't feel nothing what's happening there. I just have to measure it. I have to put everything in perspectives, and after that, I'm gonna have a conclusion. I don't have a feeling.
If you're a 6-foot observer, how far, when you see a ship go over the horizon?
Man, doesn't matter. Don't go to experiments. We have been going to to things that have been around your.
No, I'm just
your
showing
way
you
of
that
thinking.
you use pseudoscience, not actual science.
I'm not going to you with things like that because you don't understand them, mate. I'm not gonna go with somebody who doesn't understand simple things, to explain to him, because it's very hard. It's exactly like you're gonna put a dog to speak in English.
Mm-hmm. Some dogs can say hello, hello. Can teach that, yeah. Have an answer for almost everything, decoders. And that's why we are very unique in this position, because all of the scientists, all of the mathematicians, the physicists, the astrophysicists, they've all got it wrong. They were all indoctrinated the same way as you were. And we were able to say, well, hold on a second. These guys are actually scientists, have actual science. Why are they preaching? Why aren't they showing any practical physical demonstrations of their claim? So
have you been to school?
Not about me.
So no. Have you been to school?
It's not about me.
No. It's about you, because you're thinking like that. You have been talking about those things, so it's about you. Have you been to school?
Oh, I mean, it's not about me.
You see, you're avoiding again subjects. Have you been to school?
Not about me.
Okay, so carry on with your gibberish things. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, it's more about the science. It's more about the pseudoscientists. It's more about the claims that these scientists make. It's not even necessarily you. You are just defending what you were told as a young man, and you're just parroting, repeating, reasserting what hasn't been physically and practically demonstrated. And again, that's why I say we are pretty much the leaders of the new school. If there were a school to be educated, you wouldn't go to the scientists that you're listening to today, because they can't provide you guys with any information or any evidence. As we're seeing today, as we're seeing right now here in real time, like real time, in the seconds that are happening right now, you're only able to postulate of what could, if, maybe, might, possibly, looks that way. And then you would just end up saying, why would they lie? And why would these scientists, I mean, just get to that point quickly. Why would they lie about all this?
Man, again, have you been to school?
Well, look, it's not about me.
You again, you make me to say a stupid word, and I'm sorry, you're stupid. But I'm sorry because I'm saying, but you're stupid.
Well,
Man,
don't apologize
have
because
you been to school? It's very simple
don't
question.
apologize.
Yes or
There's only
no?
one way to find out if I am what you say I am, and if the Earth is what you say it is. There's only one
No,
way to
man.
find
I'm
out.
not. I'm not gonna go to you. I told you, and I'm gonna repeat myself. I'm not gonna go talk to you with experiments and things that you gibberishing about because you don't gonna understand them. And I'm gonna have a point when, because of my lack of English, I'm gonna say something, and you're gonna say, "Aha, you're a stupid one." But in my mind, I have been saying something else. I can prove it to you mathematically if you want. I have a pen and paper. I can write down all the equations if you want it, and regarding to them, we're gonna debate, and you cannot debate. Sorry, the mathematical equations. We're gonna develop a discussion, but you cannot tell me because you have been to school and fucking hell. I have a teacher of me. He have been saying something, and I have been believe him without to make him the experiment on physics or chemistry laboratory. This is nonsense. Every teacher that they have been in my school, there have been when they have said something, they have been proven to me because it's real. So you're ludicrous about those things. In this case, you prove because you have been on a very low school, or you haven't been on school at all.
Look, I completely understand your position, and this is not something that is new to me. Okay, so I mean, again, we can end this very easily. We can end the flat Earth very, very simply. It's not that difficult. We just have to have evidence for a globe. Now, mathematics, as you were saying, are just numbers on a piece of paper. Come on, I mean, what more are the numbers than just scribbles, scribble, scribble, scribble? Now, my scribble, scribble, scribble matches reality. Now, we know that when you scribble, 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 come up with 3959, 3959.
And once again, you haven't been to the school. Thank you for confirming.
It's not about me. But like I say, once we scribble down these numbers...
It is about you. It is about you. Because I told you, I'm not telling about all the people who are living in the server or who are listening to the server or sitting and chatting in the server. And I have a conversation with you. So everything what we have been talking about, it's about you, man. It's not someone who are chatting right now on the chat and I am talking about him. No, I'm talking about you. You haven't been to the school to understand all the things that have been explained there. So, or maybe you have been to the school and you ignored everything. So again, you're a part of the ignorance. You're a part of the ignorant society. That's my cousin have been explained to me. So you cannot be 100% perfect in everything. Nobody's going to tell you something like that. But if you see because you're wrong in all the domains that you are doing and all the things that you are putting in front of you, why you are continuing with those things? This is my biggest question, and I want to sort it out.
Decades.
In this server.
Decades. Can you just give me a minute? Anyway, Chemo.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Chemo. Something I should just thought I'd mention. Arwin, if he's sort of in contact with him, he keeps on saying in his live stream that he wants people to send him money through PayPal because he doesn't want it taken, because I think he probably gets means-tested benefits. And the means-tested benefits people in this country know about is Google stuff, but they don't know about the PayPal stuff. So I just don't really think it's very sensible of him to say in his live stream that people should then send him money on PayPal so he can avoid it taken into account against his means-tested benefits.
Okay, I mean, I have no idea about Arwin's situation at the moment.
Well, it is just if you know him or got his email address, or even because I'm banned and he won't respond to me at all.
Oh, Arwin watches the show.
Just let him.
Yeah, Arwin watches the show.
Hold on. Just let him know, right? Because I wouldn't like to see someone nicked or hassle from the government for such a silly mistake.
Yeah, like I say, Arwin watches the show. You've already told him. Just told him.
Well, I hope so. Anyway, whatever. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Mitford. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, straight back to the most important points. Obviously, decodus, paper, squiggles. You get a result, and then obviously we're going to go out and test that, see if it matches with what you say is on the paper. And what you will find, not me, but if you actually go out there yourself, you will find that what you wrote down on paper does not match reality in any way whatsoever. So you need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new solution.
You back to the lab again?
Sorry?
We have to go back to the lab again?
Back to the lab again.
Gravity. So
Back to the
mad.
lab. Exactly, back to the lab. There goes gravity. Well, there goes your physical geometric edge. And we had Bearded Dragon yesterday give us a wonderful explanation on obstruction. So we have our thermal layer. We have our light, not physical, but it obstructs things at the bottom. So pretty much have the answers when it comes to flat Earth, but we're looking for answers of the globe and solutions. But I still, like Decodus is saying, it just can't be a flat plane with all this knowledge, all this information, all of this science. There's just no way they could all be wrong. So I do agree with that slightly. I mean, there's just no way we could be right and outwit, outsmart all of these institutions. That would have to be impossible, right? I mean, we're guys who, according to Decoders, didn't go to school, but yet somehow we were able to show the academic world that they've made a big error, huge mistake. They've missed it. So that has to be crazy. I agree slightly. I have asked the flat earthers, how do we reconciliate the fact that we figured out something all of these scientists couldn't? I've asked them in 24/7, and you just don't know. I don't know how I see it. I don't know how they see it. We just happen to understand that if the Earth is so big, then the measurements should follow. We understand if space is real. We understand it needs a container. But again, I don't know how or why, if it's just how we figure these things out. I think we're not hung up on like, well, if this is a lie, then that is a lie. Then that is a lie, then this is a lie. Like, you guys are more like, well, if this is a lie, they lied about this. What will I trust? Oh my god, so they could be lying about everything, right? And I don't think a lot of you guys have enough time to look into all of these things. The path of least resistance. Yes, you just take the easy road. So that's pretty much where you're at, Decodus. You've taken the easy road. We've taken the difficult road. But it's rewarding, you see. When you work hard, get the reward. Now, you're not getting any rewards from taking the easy road. You're just freaking out. All we see these days are globe earthers freaking out. And again, I'm not trying to get religious or spiritual or something, but it does connect. So, just like rewards, we're talking about rewards. So when you die, and God gives the judgment, so you're going to get wages. You're going to get a payment for what you do here. So your wages will be death. Like a weird thing. Going to pay you in death or something to this effect. So that's what you get. You don't get any rewards. You're going to get it depends. You're going to get something. Yes, so death is a thing that you can receive. But anyway, the point is globe Earth, flat Earth. We get the rewards from exposing globe lie, because we see results. We see progression, whereas with the globe, not something that we see. So, Decoders, have you given up? Decided enough is enough? Most ballers do. Don't Don't be alarmed by this feeling that you're feeling right now. It's a very horrible feeling. Very, you're lost, frustrated. You know, these stupid people, they don't get it, they don't understand. They just want to reach into the computer and just, Get it. Get it. Terrible. But, like I said, the positives are, is to provide evidence. Give us a solution. This is not a joy for us in any way. Especially if I can figure out that this is not going well for the globe earther. But, you know, if we are crazy, as you say we are, there's a very good way to show it. Like, I'm nervous about BioJaw. Like, if he actually did it. I mean, where does that leave me? Oh, gosh. You know? You'd be like, well, we've got gravity, chemo. What are you talking about? We've got mass attracting mass. So that's, if you want to make us feel as bad as you do, because we know you guys feel bad. If you want us to feel the way you feel, is miserable, that you can't make progression, is bank on BioJaw. He's the hope right now. Because if he does do it, then I will support this. I mean, I've already done it. We've seen Jeremy try to answer this, no answer. We've seen Percent try to answer it, and then what was it yesterday? Somebody yesterday, can't remember who it was. They tried to, it might have been Crit. They tried to come up with an answer for why it would move. Oh, there was that other flat earther as well. What was it? Geo. See? Now they all make up stuff. And that's what we can't have. People just making up stuff. Whether you're a flat earther, globe earther, got to account for the variables. And this is why this is a winner. Yeah? So just imagine if he actually had it. And then now, Jeremy, Percent, Geo, Crit are all trying to say, wow, well, it must be because of, you know, it must be because of this and that. They've got nowhere to go. See? None of us have. Right now, we do, because you don't have that experiment.
So chemo,
Hello?
is it worth it?
Sorry?
Is it worth it?
For life, yes, to
Losing your family, your friends, everybody who cares, might have ever cared about you, turn them all away for what?
well, I mean, it's not about me.
Well, but I'm just asking, is it worth it for you? I mean, to lose everything in your life for this game you're playing, or is the delusion real?
He's dope.
Well, it's not about me, Scott.
But you have lost everything, right? I'm not mistaken on that.
Well, I mean, it's not about me. But I
I
mean,
just can't understand what you're getting out of this. I mean,
what do we
seems
get?
like it's cost you everything.
Well, I
You
mean,
keep going.
well, like I said, it has benefits because we get to
What's the benefit?
well, we get to understand the world around us. The picture
But at
is
the
a
cost
lot
of
more.
what?
Sorry,
At what cost, though?
what cost?
Yeah.
Well, truth has a heavy price, but it's not. It doesn't cost everybody. But then again, it's not about me. Like I
It
said.
costs you, right?
It's not about me, Scott. What it's about is the lie that we've been told.
Whatever. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm just curious about, if it was worth it for you. And apparently it was.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't still be doing it if it didn't have value.
I'm trying to find that value, and I just don't see it.
You possibly won't see it, yes, because you're on the other side of the fence, so you won't see things in order.
Yeah, it's like, I got my family, I got my wife, got my kids, got some good friends whose company I enjoy very much, and I can't imagine giving that up for whatever it is this is.
Well, no, you've given up your family to defend Globe Earth.
No, I wouldn't.
Huh?
And I don't have to. Because they're saying to.
You're here every day defending Globe Earth.
No.
Can I come in and disrupt the conversation?
Oh, of course.
Oh, thank you.
Terry, g'day.
Oh, Chemo, fancy meeting you here.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm going okay. How's the weather?
It's Bonza, mate, Bonza.
And you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So, Terry, seriously, where is the evidence for this globe?
Where is this evidence for this globe?
Nowhere to be found, is it?
I haven't got any on me at the moment because I haven't got a pocket.
Okay.
I've only got my validation in evidence that can be found in other people's observations and experiments and things like that. That's all I can give you for that.
That's been the story, Terry. Everyone else has got somebody else's observation or experiment. And I mean everybody else has got everybody else's. Terrible.
What are we going to do about it then?
Not the people who did the experiment, they have the data that they did.
TT guy, your mic is really low.
Yeah, I could barely hear you, TT.
I mean, we're not showing off that we're some of the greatest minds or anything like that. We're not saying, we're the most fantastic people to figure these things out. We're just saying a lot of these people have been fooled. So if you've been fooled, it's a bit different than us being extremely smart. Okay? So if you guys could just figure out that you've been fooled, well then that's how we see it. Can't figure out that everything makes sense to you. You look at the puzzle, you say, yeah, all the pieces are in the right place. We're like, well, hey, piece missing there, missing there. You're like, oh, well, it's just a couple of pieces missing, don't worry.
Are you talking about fooled or tricked? Because like a magician shows you a trick, you get tricked, or you see a trick what the magician does. But is he intentionally trying to fool you?
Just for the show. Just for the show. So when you watch NASA, it's a big show.
I don't know. I haven't watched NASA, so I don't know.
You ever watched the show?
Is there a show? They got a show.
Yeah, they have they pretend that Will Smith is speaking to the people on the ISS or something like this.
Ah.
Actors. Yeah, they're all actors. Yeah? And that's what we do. That's what we do. We raise awareness about these things.
Yes, but this is the American part where you think they are actors. But the Russian and Japanese part, they are actors too, and the European part, they are actors too.
They're all in on it together. Every single one of them, yeah.
Have you got evidence for that, Chemo?
Evidence for what?
That every astronaut ever has been, is, or will be an actor.
Or the other way around, even.
Yeah, that's quite a bold claim to make, to be honest.
Just look at every astronaut going into space. They're all in the studio, on strings. CGI green screen. We've shown...
What, even the original Apollo missions, they were all green screened?
We've shown... No, that was just... That was... what's his name? What's his name? I forget.
You're not going to say Stanley Kubrick, are you?
Kubrick, yeah, that's the one. That's the front screen projection business. Because we saw Kubrick and the FBI and together at the film on the film set and stuff.
Oh, because you're saying that, yeah, but I thought Stanley Kubrick liked to do things on location. So if he wanted to film something on the moon, he would have had to have gone there, wouldn't you?
Exactly, but they couldn't get that.
And why couldn't they get there?
Because space is a medium that we
Oh,
can't.
Kubrick didn't want to fly.
Space is a medium that we can't enter.
And why can't we enter space?
Why can't we enter that medium?
Well, why can't we enter space?
Because space is a medium that we don't know. Well, we don't know. It could be just helium.
Well, we can enter helium.
But not this type of helium.
What's this type of helium?
Way too cold.
Well, we've been in many cold places.
What happens when you freeze helium?
I don't know what happens when you freeze helium.
Becomes dense, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. You're not seeing it in a balloon.
No.
So again, we're just postulating, we're speculating why the rockets can't go up into that medium. So it's not like
I know how rockets work.
So can rockets fly around in helium? We don't know. Don't know that, can we?
Well, the way rockets work, they could fly around in any medium except for water. Oh, even water, maybe. I don't know. No, they'd need. I'd have to ask a rocket scientist that one.
Shame we don't have one.
Well, they've got oxygen on board, so.
So, what? Technically, they could fly in water.
Well, they have missiles. They launched missiles from a sub, didn't they? That's technically a rocket, no?
Not the same. I don't think it's the same type.
Yeah, but they fire torpedoes.
Then again, I don't know the specifics about rocket propulsion.
Neither do I.
However, the principles are quite similar.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine so. But like how we can get the torpedo or missile out of the water into the air, can't fire a missile out of the atmosphere into the other medium.
Well, of course you can.
Look, don't you think we would have fired missiles, not just rockets? Because if a meteorite is coming towards us or going to hit the Earth, they would fire rockets into space or missiles to hit the comet or whatever it is, the meteorite or whatever it is, to deflect.
Oh, that doesn't work. I've seen it in a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. In the movies, they deflect the thing coming.
No, it didn't deflect it. It wasn't big. They had to land on the asteroid and then blow it up.
There you go. So if you could go there, that's what would happen.
Why are you basing like a discussion about space travel on Hollywood movies?
Well, think
like,
about
it.
It
Sounds to me like it's extremely idiotic to do.
But let's think. Let's use our brains a little bit. If we are really in a vacuum, then there's going to be lots of rocks flying around, and they could hit us at any point. Why wouldn't they? Shooting stars are shooting in all directions. So we could be under, like the moon, we could be under attack from all positions on the ball. But that doesn't happen.
We've got an atmosphere and the moon doesn't. Because on the moon, if you take a telescope, you can see a whole bunch of craters where the moon got a
Yeah, but look in America, they've got that massive Grand Canyon or something. That was a massive crater from a meteorite. So it did get into Earth. Massive. That is a massive hole. Look how big that is.
You've seen the pictures of the other side of the moon with it's peppered with meteorites from millions of years ago.
Yeah, but he's saying that they can't hit the Earth. We've already had one hit the Earth.
Yes, however, that's a very rare occurrence. Like we get hit all the time with meteors, however, the most of them are not big enough to reach the ground in any sizable way.
Yeah, they bounce off the atmosphere and get burn up.
It's like if you rub your hands together real fast, it gets hot. And now imagine objects flying with, thousands of miles per hour, and that friction, that's going to burn up a lot of stuff.
A bit far, yeah. So, we've pretty much got land, sky, and so-called space covered when it comes to answering
It does continue to baffle me how the conspiracy theorists have managed to convince themselves they know more than the entirety of the science they're arguing against. Quite a magnificent sight to behold.
You know what is the biggest problem? They are very perseverant. This is the biggest problem. It's not because they are wrong or they are right. They are very perseverant in what they are doing. You see Kimo every day it's on this server, every day. And he's have his arguments, he's having his line of thoughts, he's having his experiments. So this is the biggest problem. Not because they are believing in the conspiracy.
It's crazy.
I don't know, maybe. Maybe it's only ignorant. I don't think he have a mental problem. I think it's his way of being growing up in the family and what the people have been talking around him, and he didn't have been opened eyes, for on the school. I really don't know what's happened with those guys.
Hello, hello, hello.
Morning.
Hello. When I got fired from a job once, I go into the boss's office and I stick my head around the corner and I say hello, and I move it down and I say hello, and I move it up and I say hello. Or no, it was this. It was goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Okay, where were we?
Oh, is everyone playing code words right now?
What are you saying? What did you say?
Yeah, I think they're doing that in the other channel.
What?
Shit. Well, Branch may come on here and ask Branch about being a
might work
transvestite.
A what?
1, 2. Ah, there we go. Mic is working. Yes, we're back. Buttons up. Yes, excellent. So, I mean, I guess, you know, what we were able to do is cause a lot of issues, a lot of problems. We're still going. We're still strong in our position, simply because your position is very weak. If you had a stronger position, you know, obviously you'd be able to make progression. Now, as I've said from day one, this is not a debate. It's not something that we need to go back and forth. This doesn't require hordes of opinions, is what we get. Hordes. Oh, I think this, I think somebody's done that, I think it goes like this, blah, 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 blah. We don't need that. We need dedication, dedicated individuals who are focused on the mission at hand. Now, my mission, our mission, my mission is to destroy, annihilate any ideas of a heliocentric globe model. Now, obviously, when we look down, now I did say yes, let's count the people in the game. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 12, yes. Now, I did say there's around 10 or 11 globers that need to be, I don't know, they're just not useful for the discussion. And we can see those who have given up. If I was a glober, I would give up. But I'm not a globe earther, so why would I give up? If you're a globe earther, you feel bad. No,
don't.
Oh, who's that?
I don't. No, none of us feel bad. That's just a narrative that you want to sort of promote because it's false and it's not true.
You're kind of new, though, to this. Yeah, but you're kind of new. The guys downstairs here are the ones who we have.
I've
caused
been
serious
looking at
damage
flat
to.
Earth for over 7 years, Chemo.
Oh yeah, sure you have. But the idea is that these guys downstairs have are worn out. They've been heavily damaged psychologically.
After the same crap all the time, do you mean? Yeah, it's probably having to listen to the same boring rhetoric time and time again, and they want to go and do something different. Which
Boring?
Is not sort of, you know,
Flat Earth is the
pushed
most
by...
exciting discussion that you'll ever find on the Earth right now, and it's all about
that's
strength.
your opinion.
It's all about strength,
And you have none.
I don't know if you heard this, but I was saying if your position is strong, you are in this for the long haul, and there's just no.
Well, you're wrong.
Wow, I mean, I think those that know understand that the globalist position is not a very strong position. It's a lot of preaching, preachy, and it's almost like a church now, right? So, getting your head around.
So it's nothing like a church.
Oh, for goodness. What do you want to argue about? What is there to argue about? Come on, let's try it. I mean, you really want to argue with a flat earther? You really want to argue with one of the so-called top flat earthers who annihilates global Earth?
There's not any arguing to have to be going on because there's nothing to argue about.
Exactly.
Because you guys are wrong.
No. Wrong about what?
About everything.
Go on then, demonstrate it. Show me a picture of the globe.
Everything.
Do you have a real picture of the globe? No.
Do you have a picture of the flat?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, so that's 0-0 to that's that. Okay, fine. Let's score it. 0-0 to both of us. I don't have a picture. You don't have a picture. Yes. Okay. Next point. Do you have a measurement of the board?
Yes.
So do we. We have a measurement of the flat Earth.
You have all the measurements for the flat Earth.
The entire measurement? No, because it's an infinite plane.
Okay. How long is the outside part? The part that the sun hits. What's the diameter of that?
No, you don't have the measurement for that either.
Oh yeah, we do.
You can't ask me for something that you don't have either.
I have it.
All right, let's go through yours first then. Show me the measurements. Let's have a look.
I know the circumference is 24,901 feet.
Yeah.
Right?
Who measured that?
So now I know what the speed is. I know how to take.
Are you eating? Are you eating?
No, I'm having trouble. I had a stroke a couple years ago, so I have a hard time talking and getting certain words out. And I think you already know this already.
No, I was just asking if you were eating, that's all. So look, measurements of the Earth. Can you provide that for me?
Yes, we've gone over this 100 times.
Not the size. I asked you to provide the measurements. Who measured it?
Who measured it?
Yeah. Aha. So that's nil. So no, I haven't measured the entire flat Earth. You haven't measured. So look, right now, you were 0-0 still each because you don't have a picture. I don't have
my property, so I know every bit of my property, so I know that measurement.
No, slow down. I know that part. You are spiraling now. You're spiraling.
I know the measurements of my area.
You are spiraling. What
do you have?
So we're just going through the scoreboard. You have nil, no picture. I have no picture. You have never measured the entire Earth. I have never measured the entire flat plane. Okay?
I haven't not, but there has people who have.
And there's people who have measured the entire flat Earth, but I don't have their measurements. Yeah.
You don't have it, but we have it.
Well, provide it then. Show me who measured it. Who measured the Earth? Show me.
Scientists, Earth surveyors, now with satellites. They've been doing it for 1,000 years.
Go on then. Show me one demonstration of someone measuring the Earth. Or accept we're 0-0. What?
You haven't seen a surveyor out on the roads anywhere when you're driving by and they got a little pole up? You haven't seen any of those people ever in your whole life?
No, I've seen not geodata. I've seen surveyors measure.
Well, you've seen people taking measurements of the Earth.
Look, can you just admit we're 0-0 on both points, on measurements and pictures?
I know what it takes, what the time it takes for the Earth, the sun to go around the Earth, and how long it takes and how fast it's going to go.
Do you understand how we're Do you understand how we're scoring this?
Yeah, you're going some kind of magical thing. I'm going that if I don't have to do it myself to know it.
Yeah, but I could say somebody's measured the flat Earth, right? You would say, show me who's measured the flat Earth.
No,
yeah?
I'd say what's the measurement? Tell me what the outside measurement is. That's why I asked you in the first place. What is the outside circumference of what the sun has to do in one night or one day? What is that? What is that distance?
No, nobody's measured the Earth. That's the point.
Yes, we have.
Right. Well, provide it then. Show it.
Tom, just for you, because I'm a nice guy, I've put in there the transcontinental triangulation of the Americas and the arc of the Earth, which was a survey done over, I think, about 30 years across the entirety of the US, basically measuring it and showing the curvature of the Earth as part of those measurements.
Okay, there you go.
No. We're still 0-0. Okay.
No. It's right there.
Right, so I can show you Captain Cook, who went around the flat Earth. How about that?
But Captain Cook actually is a glober. He thinks the Earth was he thought the Earth was a globe, and he took significant steps to prove it, Chemo. So why would
we are 1-1 now then?
That doesn't hold to a flat Earth. So stop talking rubbish.
So we're 1-1 now. I've got Captain Cook, and you've got this transcontinental.
No, you don't have Captain Cook because he's not a flat earther, Chemo. He didn't believe the Earth was flat. He knew it was a globe. He used global navigation maps to do it, and he helped map out a lot of the southern hemisphere. He does not believe the Earth is a globe. So stop.
If you want to use him, what is the distance that he came up with the outside?
All right, let me try and find it. Let's have a look. So we're 1-1 at the minute, right? Because I've got Captain Cook.
If you can come up with a measurement for him, otherwise, no.
Okay, hold on. Let me get.
You see, I'm going to put a bet on this now, Tom, that he's going to come up with nothing that Captain Cook says the Earth is flat, and it's going to be about his voyage around the Antarctic. That's my guessing here, and he's going to try and spin that out, that distance is too much, and therefore it must be a flat Earth. But Captain Cook doesn't believe it's a flat Earth, didn't believe it's a flat Earth, and like shagging very, very pretty Peloponnesian ladies.
Okay, so looking at the Wikipedia now, and that's it says, doesn't say.
It didn't say?
Not in Wikipedia.
That's strange.
But we'll get it. We'll get it. Don't worry. We'll get it. We'll get it. Research.
The area would be like what the outer part would be the bottom of South America, the bottom of Africa, Australia.
Yes. Well, hold on a second. Number did come. So he travelled. So he continued to. In 1,000. That doesn't seem right, though, does it? I'll have to do 60,000 miles. Yes, there we go. 60,000 miles. That's how far he travelled around.
60,000 miles. Okay, so that means the would have to go around that 60,000 miles in one 24-hour period. Correct?
What, in a boat?
No, the sun would have to do cover that 60,000 miles in a 24-hour period. Correct?
We don't know how the sun works. No, we're talking about the Earth. The Earth.
Don't know that the sun goes around the Earth in
24
hours?
Whoa! Slow down. We're 1-1 now. Right, I've got Captain Cook's measurements.
Hold
on a second, Dress. We're in the middle of a discussion here, and now you're derailing the point.
Well, no, because you're lying about the point, Chemo. So I'm actually pointing out where you're being dishonest, because it wasn't 60,000 miles in a straight line. No, he explored all over the Pacific, and you can actually look at the routes that he took. And he's going from north to south.
Go on then, show that then. Show the map.
Doofus has actually already put it up, mate.
What, the map of his travel? Yeah, he did 3 trips.
All of his travels.
He did 3.
Yeah, and look, all 3 of those trips are on there.
Yeah, so the green one, there's the green one, and then you go, yeah, so there you go, that's where he went around. So what's the distance of the green one there, Doofus?
So again, what we're looking at is the fact that he didn't do a straight line.
Doofus, what's the distance of the green one?
Journey where he's sort of going around and around the South Pacific.
Doofus is not even in the room.
Well, he posted an image, Kimo. You can see it.
He's not even in the room, so he can't answer the question.
0, I do not grant you, Captain Cook. You don't get it.
So they haven't got. We've got the distance, Thorn, which is 60,000 miles. They don't have that. They've just got a picture here, which means nothing. Until Doofus comes in and explains how far that green line is, we're going with 60,000. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with 60,000. We do know the sun goes around the Earth once every 24 hours.
No. We're 1-1 now. We're 1-1.
Okay, yeah, fine. But does the sun go around the Earth in 24 hours? There's one time it goes all the way around in 24 hours. Is that correct?
That's what Jeremy's trying to find out now.
No, what do you? Okay. What time does the sun come up tomorrow? Is it going to come up tomorrow and then not again for another 24 hours? It comes up.
I'm saying that's what Jeremy's trying to find that out now.
You don't know that? You seriously don't know that the sun revolves around the Earth every 24 hours.
Look, Jeremy's trying to figure that out now.
Okay. I know that the sun goes every 24 hours.
No, you don't know that. You haven't done the subsolar point. You don't know that.
What?
What's the speed, the ground speed of the subsolar point?
So if you take 60,000 and divide it by 24, what will you get?
No, we don't know how the sun works.
We do. Well, you just told me. I do know it goes around the Earth once every 24 hours because it comes up every day at the same time, every 24 hours. We see it again, next 24 hours. We don't have 48-hour days. We have 24-hour days, correct?
Well, you heard Bob say we have 2 suns, yeah?
What?
Bob from Globebuster says we have 2 suns.
Well, he's an idiot.
I'm just saying to you that we're 1-1 at the moment because I have a measurement, you have a measurement.
Let's talk about the real world, not the imaginary world. The real world, what we see. What you guys always say, well, we don't feel we're moving. We don't see.
No, you're all over the place now. Can we get back to the scoreboard? So you don't have a picture,
Yeah,
I don't have a picture.
Because we want the measurements. So what's the, you said it was 60,000 miles in a 24-hour period that moon that someone had to be traveling
I didn't say any of that. I didn't say any of that. No, I didn't say any of that. I don't know how the sky works.
It doesn't matter if you know how the sky works. The rest of us does. So you have to explain how a sun can go at 2,500 miles an hour around it passing by us like a rocket ship.
How does the sky work then? Explain to me.
I do know what it takes for this. I do know that we have 24-hour days. Is that right? Yes or no?
How do you know this?
How do I know that there's 24 hours in a day?
No, how do you know it's the same sun?
How do I know it's the same sun? Because of the numbers across it?
On the sun?
Yeah, you haven't seen the barcode across there?
Come on, stop being silly now. Let's stick to
Well,
the
no,
Earth.
I'm not. I'm being about silly as you are about thinking there's 2 suns or 3
No,
or
no,
4
I
or
didn't
10.
say I say that. That's what others are saying, right?
I don't care what people are saying. What are you saying? Are you saying there's 2 suns?
I'm saying we don't know what the sun is or what it does or how it works.
Well, yes, we do. You don't, but we do.
How does it work then, Tammy?
Okay. Let's just stick to You can't even answer the 24-hour thing. Come on, give me a freaking break.
I'm saying we don't know what the sun is. We don't know anything about
Do
the
you
sky.
know about 24 hours in a day? Period. Yes or no?
That's what we were told, yeah.
Okay. So then if that's what we've been told, and you just said it's 60,000 miles to get around the one part of flat Earth, it would mean the sun would be going at 2,500 miles an hour. You get excited that 1,000 miles an hour of the rotation is too fast.
Just a quick announcement.
You doubled it.
If there are any flatties listening, Veach and Kosher are in another room, and it's best to get in here now while they're busy and occupied, and come and state your flat Earth case without mod abuse. Yeah, so let's get back to the scoreboard. So you are now asking about the sun. When I don't know what the sun is, you don't know what the sun is, so that's 0-0.
No. I asked you if it was a 24-hour day. You said yes.
I said we don't know. We don't know.
You don't know about 24-hour day. Then we can't talk about anything else until you figure out how many hours are in a day.
That's what Jeremy's going to find out for us. That's what he's doing.
No. I need you to know how many hours are in a day. Everybody here know that you don't know how many hours are in a day. How old are you?
Tell us 24, right?
What?
24 hours in a day is what they tell us, yeah?
Is that what they tell us, or is that what it is?
That's what they tell us.
So you don't know?
How do you know?
Because I can count.
Yes, but do you know if it's the same sun?
Yes.
How?
Because I don't live in a fantasy world.
Oh, so you're just going with what they told us. Well, that's fine. That's not a point.
I go by what I can see. I can see one sun in the air all the time.
Yeah, but that's not a point. Anyway, Brian's gone.
So if it is 24 hours a day, when you figure that out, if it's 24 hours a day, or if it's a 48-hour day, or a 72-hour day, which would it have to be for it to make it the normal rotation around of what we see at 15 degrees per hour.
That's probably what the sun moves at, 15 degrees. We're just speculating.
What?
We're just speculating.
What do you mean just speculating? You can take a protractor and you can track that all day long. Say, wow, move from there to there, 1 hour time, 15 degrees. Move from there to there, 15 degrees. There, 15 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
That's not speculating. And what's his name? David, this dirt guy. He even admits it's 15 degrees every hour. So There you go.
Oh, Bob from Globebusters. Well, again, we didn't know the cause of that. Don't know the cause to Bob's effect. On.
Don't know the cause of the sun going across the sky?
No, we don't know the cause of Bob's gyroscope.
I'm not talking about Bob. I'm talking about Dave. It's Dirk. DR, the Dirt guy, whatever.
Oh, Dirk.
He says, he says it's 15 degrees per hour that the sun moves.
Could do, but again, we're so confused on what the sky is and how it works. We're still trying to discover these things.
No, we're not. You are confused. The rest of us are not.
Yeah, but you're guessing. Guessing isn't science.
I'm whating?
You can't just guess what the sun is and how it works.
I'm not guessing, but I can see the sun go across the sky and it's going at 15 degrees per hour. Anybody can measure that. You can even measure that probably with the help with a vault.
I didn't move you, Drew. What are you talking about?
To be able to measure how long it takes the sun to go across the sky, if you have an adult with you to help, you could probably figure out that it's 15 degrees per hour.
Probably. That's what Jeremy's going to discover for us.
Wow. So, how old are you?
Not about me.
So let's say
I'm definitively say that the sun does move at about 15 degrees per hour across the surface, and based on latitude is the only difference, and that's why you need sundials relating to your latitude.
And
so you've measured for thousands of years.
I mean, for me, there is no argument. It's down to the globe earthers to demonstrate and prove their claim of a heliocentric model.
It's been already proven.
But
so
that's just for you, though, Spurs, right? That's for you.
That's for me. For me.
You said for me, but it's not about you, Spurs. It's not about you. So
no, it's about the science. It's about the shape of the earth. It's about what can be proven.
It's pointless. It's frivolous, and it's a non sequitur. It's really not required at all.
Absolutely was. We need to come to terms with the Earth being flat and stationary, with no evidence of space, astronauts going in. Now, an astronaut in a vacuum.
You realise it's not about you.
No, it's about astronauts in a vacuum, in a spacesuit.
So now you've gone off the vacuum with astronauts. We still haven't gotten past the point that's 24 hours in a day yet.
No. We're looking at the scoreboard. And
no, we're waiting for you to tell me if there's 24 hours in a day.
We don't know. Nobody knows.
You find that out, you get back. Otherwise, you are worthless.
No, nobody can know that stuff until Jeremy gets back with the data.
No. It doesn't matter what he goes. He's not going to find out there's 24 hours in a day by doing some.
It's going to give us more information than we have currently.
You do know that Jeremy is not actually trying to establish how many hours there are in a day with his experiment.
He'll give us a lot of information.
The speed of the sun over the surface of the Earth is what he's measuring.
You're derailing.
And there are some conclusions that he can draw from that. We measure the day. Sorry, go on, Ross.
Yeah, you're not letting.
I was just going to ask Spurs. I'm just asking Spurs what he thinks Jeremy's trying to do. What do you think he's trying to do? What's he trying to measure there, Spurs? If it's not about you.
Checking out the ground speed, subsolar points. Checking out if it comports with the dartboard or
and a globe. How do you think? How do you think it would comport
for the last 2,000 years, 3,000, 4,000 years?
How do you think it will comport or not comport?
For me, I mean, again, this doesn't tell us.
Not for you, man. Not for you. Not for you, because it's not about you.
I mean, for yous, I don't think it will tell yous anything anyway, because it's not really practical in any way. It's
well, it won't tell us anything.
Anyway, we've got Brian here now.
Brian,
we've got very freedom time. Freedom. Kosho's not here. Veach is not here. Let's get it, Brian. Let's get it. Talk to us.
Who is yous?
Dodge, duck, weaving.
Don't worry about Was. He's a lovable, kind character. So, Brian, what about this globe?
See what it's not going to tell us. It's not going to tell us that the sun is traveling.
Brian, your
more
mic
than
is really low if you're speaking. and Thom, we ended up 0-0, basically. None of us have.
No.
Yes, none of us have.
I know how many hours it takes. And I know how big the circumference of the Earth is. And I know how many hours it takes to get the sun to get around the Earth. You, for some reason, do not know that there's 24 hours in a day. So we're not nil.
Yeah, don't forget, we also provided evidence, the fact that we've measured the Earth as well, which he's still denying. So he's been shown the evidence, yet he's still saying there is none.
Brian, are you trying to talk?
A little dishonest.
You're over talking Brian, I think.
Brian's not talking.
Mike's
Oh, sorry, Brian's very quiet. I apologise, Brian.
Which Brian are you talking about?
Brian Mabbott.
What?
Oh, I don't hear him. Are you talking, Brian Mabbott? It's difficult to hear if you are.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Chemo was wrong again.
It's not talking, Spurs. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, well, like I say, Brian, now is the time, okay, to question these Globers with that wasn't their own goal. Okay.
Maybe Brian knows how many hours are in a day.
Go to the big screen and check it again. See? So Brian, do you want to get into it, or do you want me to continue annihilating?
You don't know how many hours are in a day, so let's find out someone who does know how many hours are in a day.
Yeah, I'm saying Brian can get in.
But you need to, it's a very serious, big problem if you don't know how many hours are in a day.
I just told you, we're told 24.
I want you to tell me that you know that there's 24. Not that you've been told that, because that's a little way you try to get your way out of things. We've been told. No, you need to know. You don't know? Finally get it something, buy a watch, and start looking at it every day and see, oh, wow, another 24 hours went by. Another 24 hours went by. And it's going to be that way forever.
Brian, what do you think of this?
They were going to decimalize the clock, weren't they, and just make it 10 hours in a day.
Right.
And each
going
hour
back to like
that will work out, won't it?
That's an idea.
Hold on, Edris. Let's hear what he's got to say.
1870s.
Can you not do that and overtalk him in the middle of his sentence?
He's not in the middle of a sentence, Chemo. He made a statement and he finished. I don't believe I was over talking you, Brian, was I?
What were you saying, Brian? What about these 10 hours?
So Brian's good that I wasn't over talking. Would you like to apologise to me?
We didn't get to hear what he was saying about 10 hours. Who did that? We didn't get to find out what he's talking about.
Yeah, I heard.
They was going to decimalize the clock to 10 hours. So each hour would have been like 2.5 hours long or something.
What happened? They went with the one
I
lap.
don't know why they didn't.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting.
it's just a set amount of seconds, isn't it?
It's the thing that came out with the system, Brian, when they were decimalising everything. And they did look at the clock. I think that's an idea that goes back to sort of the 1860s, 1880s, somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that. So it's arbitrary, isn't it? We do 24 hours because that's how they've sort of portioned the day up.
That's what we were told, and that's what we agree on.
Yeah, that actually goes all the way back to the Sumerians, Brian. That's why we use it in a base 12 and a base 60. That's why you're 360 degrees in a circle and that kind of shit.
So, Brian, did you know that there's a vacuum of space?
That's what we're told.
Now you're just trying to go off another area. We haven't finished the discussion we've started.
Yeah, we're looking for more points.
How many hours in a day?
You just decided 24. 24.
You know that, Kimo.
Let's go with it. We agree on 24.
So you agree that there's 24 hours, not that somebody told you that, you know there's 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, we agree on that, yes? Like Brian said it was going to be 10, but we agree 24.
Yeah, well, that's, again, we have to go with what we see in this world, not what we make believe or that crapage. So now, if you say 60,000 miles around your circumference of your bottom part of your planet Earth.
Oh, yeah.
24 hours, that's 2,500 miles an hour that thing would have to travel to get around the Earth.
That wouldn't work on a flat Earth model, right?
What's he saying?
2,500 miles an hour.
What's he saying? The sun's doing 2,500 miles an hour?
No. If we're trying to figure out how big the flat Earth is, and if the sun would work going around it, he wants to build a model, Brian.
How fast is the ISS supposed to be traveling?
Does that travel around it 24 hours in a day? No. We're talking about the sun. We're talking about the sun. That's all we're talking about right now is the sun.
Yeah, well, you were saying the speeds were ludicrous, but your ISS does 17,500 miles an hour.
Right. But this is saying about the rotation of Earth. 1,000 hours, 1,000 miles an hour. And everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, we'd be flipping out. But you've got a sun going 1.5 times that. You don't think that's bad? You would think anybody would notice that? Give me a freaking break. We take 1,000 miles. My sun going around at 2,500.
What do we do, Brian? He wants a model.
What a model? Not that a model.
Maybe the sun is not a physical object. Maybe just it's a focal point of energy, do you think? Just like a torch beam, that could do.
It just stays in one spot and the torch light beam moves. We can see that because that's not what I see. So I don't know what world you're living on, but that's not what we see. We have to go by what we see.
But what we see is not always it's not always true, is it?
You're right. It's not. So when you don't see the curve, doesn't mean there's not one there. This means you can't see it.
No, but you can't measure it either.
Sure, you can.
No, you can't.
But if 1 degree at 69 miles, you can't see 1 degree over 69 miles. Nobody can.
That 1 degree is a hell of a curvature.
1 degree? You can see 1 degree difference?
It depends on the size of the curve, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I guarantee you, over 69 miles, you're not going to see 1 degree of a curve with your naked eye.
Let me just calculate that. I'll never have to do that.
So is that a point to you, Brian, or a point to Don?
69 miles.
Yeah.
From your position, there should be a drop of 38,000 feet.
But 1 degree.
Yeah, 38,000 feet drop.
38,000 feet. That's even more than what the circumference of the Earth is. But that's insane.
Oh no, that's inches. Hold on. Divide by 12.
Yeah. So it's just over. You can't see 1 degree. You put a pencil across the room and move it 1 degree of separation of a pencil across the room and tell me you can see that difference. Bullshit.
Yeah, well, water don't curve.
You can't see it, so that doesn't mean it doesn't.
And that's a point to Tom.
No, it ain't a point to Tom. He's talking shit.
Well, you just had to respond with water don't curve rather than actually agreeing to the point that it's very difficult to see 1 degree of curvature over 70 miles or 69 miles.
He didn't say it was a fucking competition.
He did. That's why.
Oh, right. I must have
It's not a me thing, Brian. I don't believe in scoring points.
I don't want to be a competition either. But I just want some simple things that, when you guys say, oh, that's what we see or what we feel. And we try to say, okay, do you see this or do you feel this? And you say no, or that doesn't matter. Then that does matter.
Well, I think we're all in agreement that we'll take the point scoring piece off the table because that's a bit childish and pathetic.
I agree with that.
Oh, dear. Come on, Chemo, liven up.
Yes, we're still here in full effect, full force, ready to. As you can see, we're taking down the globers like dominoes here, and they're falling hard as they should because.
We're your little game, and we're just talking just like adults. So.
No. We're talking about wiping out every globe Earther, like mentally. So their fight. Basically, we want We want to reduce
What
that
happened?
ego that they had into, you know, like, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's too difficult.
But you know, when they put you in a little padded cell, you'll be all by yourself there, so you'll be all.
That will happen if it turns out the Earth's a ball, for sure, yeah, because it will be like, what?
By all paddles.
It'll be like, we'd be in like an alternate universe or something. Like, all science would be broken if the globe was real.
No, it wouldn't. Our entire science is based on the concept of things like stuff finding its lowest state of energy, and one of the things that's described in that is the fact that objects of mass will take on a spherical shape. So actually, no, the whole of science would be broken if you demonstrated the Earth was flat. We'd have to ask some very serious questions of the science that we use.
But you say science doesn't prove anything.
Well,
that's a point to us. Well done, Brian.
That's the difference between a theory and an observation. So an observation is empirical. I take a measurement of something, and using that scalar, that is the measurement within the bounds of the tolerance that we're taking. You know, I mean, you do that every day in an engineering role. You know, but when we're looking at the conclusions that we draw, so where we get, I'm just going to finish this point. It's very quick. Okay, Chemo, you want to stop me talking yet again because I'm trying to make a point and you don't like
off
it.
to something else.
Not derailing, Chemo, just annoyed with the fact that you do this when I'm halfway through a sentence every fucking time. So I'll tell you what, I won't fight with you. I will.
Why don't you prove your claim instead of monologuing?
And I'm really rather fed up with your attitude, Chemo. So I'm not going to engage you. Goodbye.
So stop monologuing. Let's get the physicality.
I wasn't monologuing. I was making a point, and you interrupted me halfway through. You overtalked me, Chemo.
No. You were preaching your religion.
I wasn't preaching, Chemo. You overtalked me in the middle of a point, which you said people shouldn't do, but you're a hypocrite and you can't follow your own rules.
No. If you want to speak religion, there is a religion room down there, you know?
I'm not spouting religion, Chemo. Will you stop this pathetic shit?
So, we're talking about science. You understand? The natural and physical world with observation and experiment. Not religious.
So, do you understand, Chemo?
Good day, Mippet. Good morning, good evening, whatever it is over there.
Good evening. Are you going to answer the question?
Of course, we answer all questions. We have an answer for almost everything, Mippet, when it comes to the shape of the Earth.
No, you have an answer for fuck all, Chemo. And
so what would you like to know today, Mippet, about where you live?
He doesn't know there's 24 hours in a day, so
yeah.
Yeah, Chemo's got an answer for everything.
Almost everything. Almost. I didn't say everything.
Almost. Okay, almost. Sorry, Chemo.
Now he thinks that the sun travels around at 2,500 miles an hour.
Well, we don't know that, sure.
What?
We don't know about the sky. We know about the Earth itself, the ground. We know it doesn't.
Yeah, and the Earth rotates at 15 degrees an hour.
There's no evidence to support that claim, Mippet.
Thanks, Bob.
What?
Anybody can take us.
Bob, what Bob did is he had an effect, but we don't know the cause, Mippet.
Well, you don't know the cause. We do.
Well, the cause was touted as Earth rotation. And
which it was, so no need to go any further. Thanks, Chemo.
What we discovered that Bob was unable to manipulate his independent variable.
Yeah, he couldn't manipulate it so that it came out the way he wanted it to.
Hold on a second.
He was very upset when it actually proved the Earth does rotate at 15 degrees.
But what do you think would have happened
if
he
conducting an experiment, Mippet, or was he taking a measurement? To me, he was taking a measurement.
What do you think would have happened, Mippet, if he manipulated
Actually, yes, a measurement does sound correct there, Druss.
But if he had manipulated the Earth rotation, he would have stopped the effect in the gyro.
Oh, you're a dickhead. Stop the Earth's rotation. Yeah, right, okay.
Why do you need...
You're so stupid.
Why do you need to manipulate a variable to take a measurement, Chemo? Can you expand on that? Let's make you look a bit stupid, shall we?
So the idea is that we have an effect, which is a phenomenon. What caused that effect? and we are told the Earth rotation is the cause. Now, obviously, if that is the cause, we should be able to wiggle and manipulate our independent variable.
No, you don't wiggle and manipulate anything.
Well, then that's not science, Mickey.
This is your problem, Chemo. You do the wiggling and the can we just make it fit? Oh, if I do say it this way, it might sound like I know what I'm talking about. But
Okay,
you don't really know anything you're talking about.
Mippet.
That's what I get out of you, and I've been here for a little while now. I think I'd pin you down there, Chemo.
And if it doesn't work out, they just try something else. So they,
Well, and the weird thing is, as Chemo said, we're talking about the science here, and the science says that, that gyroscopes keep their fixed position in space. This is what our science says. And the observation, the conclusion would be, if the Earth is rotating and it's keeping its fixed point in space, this is what we should see. And guess what? This is what we see. And when we measure it, which is what Bob Nodell did, he took a measurement. He found out that measurement was 15 degrees per hour, which agrees with all the theories.
Right, you're friendly muting me now. You're not letting me speak.
Yeah, I want to know.
You speak all the fucking time, and you speak over me.
Friendly mute.
What sort of wiggle do you have to do to stop the Earth rotating, Chemo?
Well,
wiggle it just a little bit.
Well, if we have an effect in the gyro.
What? The wiggle effect, Chemo? Is that?
No, we have deviation, rotate. The lasers are giving us
Is Chemo now funding muting me?
What?
Are you now funding muting me?
Funding muting?
Yeah, why are you funding muting me?
Funding muting it?
Yeah, you're funding muting me. Yeah.
We're not fundamentalists. We ask questions.
Yeah, you are. You're fundamentally muting me. You're fundamentally.
Right, you're gatekeeping now. You're blocking the subject, blocking the discussion.
No, I'm just pointing out that all I did was talk, and all you did was talk. Therefore, I'm guessing.
No, because we're talking about science, and once again, you're talking religion.
No. I'm talking. You talked about the body of science and what science agrees to, and how science proves the flat Earth. And funny enough, one of the things that we have with a ring laser gyro is it's a tool to measure drift,
Laugh out loud.
and it keeps its position fixed in space, and therefore that's what science says. And the conclusion of science is the Earth is rotating, which we have observed from space.
But science
Brian,
doesn't prove anything, does it?
Go on, Brian. I was just about to say, what did
Observations
again, he doesn't let anyone else speak.
Not.
He answers for everyone.
I responded to it, Chemo.
Right, Brian. Druss is saying that they've got
science
proof.
most certainly does prove things.
They've got proof of space.
Well, you better have a word with your fucking leaders then.
What is
Brian.
Druss talking about when he says he has evidence, Brian?
Brian, can you explain what the wiggle effect is? Chemo won't let us know about it.
Why should I explain it?
Well, I thought you might know about it. The wiggle effect.
Science doesn't prove anything.
The wiggle effect.
Just that. So why bother fucking doing it?
The wiggle effect.
Why are we doing it if it don't fucking prove anything?
The wiggle effect, Brian.
Yeah,
That's
it doesn't
what I'm
prove
asking
anything, does it?
Let it
Science
rest.
doesn't prove anything.
No,
Wiggle
I'm asking
effect.
about the wiggle effect, Brian, not our
It's
science.
from your own priests. Science does not prove anything.
I think
I'm
we're
asking
wrong
about-
that it doesn't prove anything, but it does.
It certainly
How do you do the
disproves
wiggle effect
things.
if you don't fucking prove anything?
The wiggle
It
effect,
certainly
yeah, I believe
disproves
that.
things.
This is how fucking distorted they've got your minds.
Science certainly disproves things.
So it can prove a negative. Is that what you're saying?
No, I
And
didn't
a
say prove
positive.
a negative. I specifically said disprove.
You are completely fucking deluded by them.
And a positive. It can prove both positives and negatives. Were you born yesterday?
Come on, Brian, give it to them. Veach is not here. Koto's not here. Let's tell him.
Can't be asked to
And
talk to
Chemo's
you morons, mate.
Diving.
Do I have to do all the work myself?
Chemo, you haven't got anyone to back you up.
No,
or
I
you.
can do it all myself. I've got no problems dismantling the globe, okay? But I don't want to hog the mic from the flat earthers that also understand that the globe is not real. This is the perfect time, Brian.
They actually tell you that the globe is a model. A model. It's not reality, a fucking model.
It's the reality.
They tell you that.
What, Airfix or Hasbro, Brian?
And whereas the flat Earth model, it's non-existent.
Is it an Airfix or Hasbro model, Brian?
We're ripping their model to pieces. That is all by their fucking complete and utter bullshit. Problem is with a lie, you have to keep bolstering that lie up with another lie till it gets to the point of fucking lunacy. Now,
No information in the globe model has
welcome.
changed since flat Earth has
that we're
started.
living on is rotating.
You have to take one lie and bolster it with one lie. It's welcome to flat Earth.
None of the basic points in the globe model has changed since flat Earth started. So you have to lie about there being lies being bolstered by other lies.
Animals, you're all animals.
Centrifugal force distorts the planet and it lifts water up 16 miles high at the equator.
Who said that? Who ever said that?
Everybody does it.
Nobody does it but
It's an
you.
ellipsoid. They call it a fucking ellipsoid caused
It's
by
an
the
oblate
rotation.
spheroid, thank you.
An ellipsoid caused the distortion by fucking centrifugal force. Yet we do not.
That's
we do
right.
not
You're correct to a degree. Yeah,
on the
you're right.
surface of this
You're
fucking
actually
rotating platform
learning something.
at all.
Wow.
So it is bullshit what they have told you. Absolute fucking bullshit.
That our equator
Yes,
bulges.
it's not
You just admitted something.
Water
You just admitted
cannot
something.
so mass to form a curve. It is nonsense.
You just admitted something that you're not even aware that our equator there's a bulge at our equator. What is wrong with you? Are you psycho?
Is there a bulge at your equator?
Yes, there most certainly is. There is a bulge at Earth's equator. There most certainly is.
So what caused?
It's not the way you think of it as a bulge.
What causes that bulge?
The formation of Earth.
What?
The formation of Earth and gravity.
What about centrifugal force with it spinning?
Some of that, but not enough to overtake gravity.
Oh, Jesus H. Christmas Christ. This guy's dumb.
5 miles completely.
It is allegedly caused by centrifugal forces caused by the Earth rotating at 50 degrees per hour, which at 69 miles per degree on the surface is 1,037 miles an hour at the equator. Correct?
What reference frame are you using?
Your fucking mental spinning ball Earth is the reference frame.
But it's crazy for the sun, for the Earth to be spinning at 1,000, but not for the sun to be traveling at 2,500 miles an hour on the flat Earth.
Your ludicrous fucking belief that this place is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. They had to reform the planet because of its rotational centrifugal forces acting upon that planet. But we don't detect any of that centrifugal force on the surface of the same fucking planet.
Are you sure about that?
I.e., anything that is suspended like a plumb bob hangs perfectly vertical and is not biased towards the equator. If you believe they're fucking nonsense, you are brainwashed.
Towards the equator. Nobody's ever said that.
Brian,
Do you even
just said
realize
the fucking
how minute? Do you even realize how minute the size of a human being is compared to the size of Earth? That's just like that same crapola that people try to spout out. You flat earthers. Well, aircraft don't have to. They don't have to change their headings because of Earth's curvature. Well, that's bullshit. Why? Because
Brian's getting the tea ready.
Well, namely, because if you have a Boeing 747 at 30,000 feet, the size of that aircraft compared to the size of Earth is just so minute that no, you don't have to adjust, make any adjustment for those headings. It's just, duh. Are you just that stupid?
When do you end up in space then, going off the edge of the fucking planet?
What makes you think that would happen?
At 500 miles an hour, in 5 minutes, you would have gained some ludicrous fucking height above the surface as it drops away from you.
500 miles an hour would be 500 miles in 1 hour.
Any chance you could not put a swear word into every sentence, please, Brian?
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you got delicate ears, have you? Sorry.
Well, it's just that, people do watch this on YouTube, and I'm sure they don't really want to be exposed to so much swearing.
And there's a representing how much water is actually on the planet compared to the planet.
That little dot.
That little dot.
Right, in 1 hour, 500 miles, the plane would have gained 166,000 feet above the surface of the Earth. Now, when have you ever seen a plane gain 166,000 feet when it's only flying at 35,000 feet?
So it would be
without it having to push its fucking nose down to stay around the curve.
Why would it have to do that? The Earth is like massive. You obviously don't understand scale. That's your problem.
Exactly. The problem is with your Earth, there are dimensions to it, and using their own
yeah, exactly. It's
blows
dimensions.
It out of the water.
Blows
Planes
what
do
out the
not
water?
have to keep fucking pushing their nose down.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Else in
Damn
an
right
hour,
they
just
they
fly
would
level.
be 166,000 feet higher than what they should be.
You're
It
living
is
in a la
ludicrous
la
what
land.
they have taught you, what they have brainwashed you with.
You are hilarious.
If this fucking planet, sorry for swearing, if this place spun, how could a plane ever get to where it's
It
going?
doesn't. See, that's your problem. It doesn't spin. Get spin out your brain. It rotates once every day. Okay?
Right.
Not spinning testicle, not spinning whatever. It's a rotating spheroid.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'll use
Thank
your
you.
terminology. If this
Thank you, that would be lovely.
ludicrous ball that rotates beneath a plane, how would a plane ever get to where it's going?
It flies.
It would be impossible.
Yeah.
If a plane took off in South America, heading to the North Pole, let's say it was on the equator in South America, it took off heading to the pole, North Pole, it flew over the North Pole, took it 6 hours, and then it carried on flying straight and landed 6 hours later on the other side of the rotating globe. Where would it land?
You just explain the fact that Earth is
It
a
would
globe.
land
Thank
back
you very
where
much.
it took off.
In the
If
middle of the
this
ocean.
Earth rotated half a turn in 12 hours. It is complete and utter nonsense.
See, let me tell you one thing.
In your small mind.
I flew to Hawaii, to Canada, Japan about 6 years ago, out of Houston, Texas. We went up to the North Pole, circled at the North Pole for like 3 times, and came back down to Japan.
Damn it! I think Brian has met his match.
We're not done
So
yet.
did Earth turn underneath the plane while you were circling around the North Pole?
It circled underneath. It rotated while we were up there circling, and we weren't the only plane up there. We look out the window and see other planes going, wow, this is kind of weird. When they told me that, I thought they were crazy when they first told me that. I was like, this is insane. I'm looking out the window going, holy crap, we are just circling.
Planes could not work if the ground they are trying to land on was moving at the speed that they tell us. It is
Well, they do.
absolutely moronic.
They do it every day.
No, they don't. The Earth does not move. You could never land a plane on a north to south runway if its movement was up to 1,000 miles an hour left to right.
Yeah, but
Of course you could.
In what
because
reference
the size
frame,
of
Brian?
an aircraft compared. Of course you could, because the size of an aircraft compared to the size of Earth is minute.
But the speed difference is the same, whichever.
I feel the earth move under my feet, Brian, but only when you're around.
Only when you're pissed.
If I had
And
one
that's how they've got you. They've got you in this constant fucking bezoddled state of drunken fucking mentalness.
No, it wasn't just drunk.
Right, it was. I'm up to my third one. What are you up to?
I think that might have something
I've just
to
cracked
do
the bottle
with
open.
Oh, okay, you're just started. Okay, I'm ahead of you.
I've got to go
And
pick
all
up my
you
daughter
want
later, mate.
is
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Hey, enough of
Wozers.
this! Enough of this bloody socialising.
Hey.
Get on with it, Brian. Tom.
Oh, sorry,
Who's-
Chemo was here.
What round was it, Chemo? Round 3, 4?
Hey,
Is it Brian and Thom?
Right on the thumb, yeah.
Yeah, go. Ding ding.
Kimo had to run away because he got butt hurt so bad.
You got him, Thom. You got him on the ropes, Thom.
If I had a 25-foot trailer and I could run 25 miles an hour, and the car was traveling at 25 miles an hour, and I ran up the back and jumped up, would I tumble or would I just fall right where I jumped?
What about if it's moving 90 degrees to you?
If it's moving, if it's going forward, and I'm going to run off the back of it and jump. Am I going to tumble, or am I just going to jump up and fall straight down?
Well, unfortunately for you, there are north and south runways, which means they are going sideways compared to the plane at up to 1,000 miles an hour, depending where they are on the surface of your ludicrous Earth. It is
Interesting.
impossible.
Tell me more.
Absolutely
Tell me more.
impossible. The only way this could possibly happen is if the plane is going sideways at the same speed. Planes do not fly sideways. It is ludicrous what they have filled your heads with.
I've seen them go nearly sideways, depending on how strong the wind is sometimes.
Well, what do you say to that, Thom?
Okay, well, I need the demo on that to show me that. Do an experiment. Show me a plane that's not going to be flying on a flat. It's going to fly on a flat, non-moving surface, and show that it's possible, and then make that surface move, like rotate, and then show me it can't.
What?
I want you to get a plane, get a surface that's not moving, and land the plane, and then get the surface to spin and land it again, and show me you can't land it. It's ridiculous, right?
He's got you there, Brian.
You want me to get a plane,
He's speechless now.
try and land it on a surface that's rotating? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That you're causing the road. You got to have a variable. You got to have what's going to cause and affect this, right? So you got to prove to me that you
don't.
can't.
I don't have to. It's common sense, and that's what you've already removed from your brains is common sense.
Oh, wow, so I can use that same little excuse about, well, you can't show me a curve. It's just common sense.
We have to have some wiggle in there. Have to have wiggle.
With the side wind, he's having to slew it onto, and that's probably just a 20, 30 mile an hour side wind.
Then what if there's no
Imagine
wind?
if the ground was moving at up to 1,000 miles an hour. It is ludicrous.
Well, what happens to the air then if it's the ground's moving at that speed?
The air doesn't do anything.
Isn't the air moving? Is the air moving at all?
Well, then you wouldn't
This is
have
like
Coriolis,
speaking
would
to
you?
school
You
children.
wouldn't have your Coriolis effect then if the air was going with it, and that means a plane would be flying sideways, and they don't. It's ludicrous.
Sure. I've seen it happen. Yeah, you can get side drafts and you can have an aircraft and you can fly. I've seen Piper aircraft that actually they'll just sit perfectly still in the air. If you slow the engine speed enough, they can sit stable like they're hovering in the air. Were you born yesterday?
We're not talking about wind, are we? We're talking about the surface moving, not the wind.
Uh-huh.
Where does all the currents
I
come
know
from?
planes can hover. I fly model aircraft. I come into the stop landing in a very gusty day. I know that, but at least the ground works as well. It's ludicrous. You've got to get it out of your head. They have brainwashed you to believe this nonsense, or you are paid to push this nonsense.
But then again, you're the same person that claims that astronomy and that stars are not real.
Who claims that?
You.
Something's up there. No, I don't know what they are. I've never claimed what they are or what they're not.
What's astronomy
I do
then?
not know. I see lights in the sky.
Yeah, but what's astronomy?
It's the study of lights in the sky.
Okay. Are you happy with that?
Is astronomy real?
Studying lights in the sky is real. You could stand there all fucking day or night and look at them. That doesn't make it unreal, but what they are viewing, it is just their interpretation.
What about the conclusions they come to by studying them, right? What about the conclusions? What about the conclusions they come to after studying them, Brian?
It's a complete guesstimation at best. They're guessing.
At best. It's the best guess we got, right?
Yeah, it's a guesstimation.
It's the best guess we got.
It's the only guess you've got.
Yeah, it's the
Because
only
you do
guess
not
you've
know.
got. It's the only guess you've got. That's right.
Like you guessing the
guess.
lottery. It's like you guessing the lottery.
What are you?
numbers.
What's your best guess, Brian?
For the lottery numbers, every week your loss was so far.
It's not about lottery numbers, Spurs.
Like guessing the lottery numbers. How successful?
No, it's not
are
like that
you?
at all. Actually, it's actually not like that.
Well, how successful are you at guessing the lottery numbers?
It's not like that, Spurs.
What's your best guess?
It's not like that. It's nothing like guessing the lottery numbers. It's not like that at all. That question you're asking me about lottery numbers, it's not like that. I can't answer that question in regards to astronomy.
Does anybody here know how long is 1 trillion seconds? Without Googling it.